folks, and welcome into a new edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton. Today, we've got a very special guest. We're going to introduce you to our new head football coach, Pat Schooler. Fantastic guy. I think you're going to love this interview that we have today. I can't wait to sit down and talk to him, find out a little bit about who he is and kind of what makes him tick and who his mentors were and how coaching has gone for him and just kind of his career. So I think you're going to really enjoy that. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in and around this city and update people on the special election. So y'all stay right there. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I have had the pleasure of being joined now by our new head football coach at Pearl, Patrick Schooler. Patrick, welcome in to This Week in Pearl.
Good. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, so football season is upon us.
It is. Week one, really.
We are getting started this week, right?
I'm ready. Excited about it. Really am.
Yes. I know we've got the Jamboree coming up Friday night.
Yep.
I'll tell everybody that's happening, right? So how does that actually work Friday? What's the Jamboree?
2 quarters. It'll be 2 quarters high school. Then we'll play a JV quarter. I got to talk to Coach Collins here in a minute, kind of how the format's going to run. But it'll be 2 live quarters. I mean, we're going to get after it. And, don't say you care about winning because, I don't really play when we keep score. To be honest with you, we will in the head, of course. You know that.
Right, of course.
But, it's all going to be about getting live action, hitting somebody besides the same person you've been seeing the last 3 weeks. Those first 3 weeks of practice are pretty mundane. They get this week it's really old. So but finally we got something to look forward to and see what we need to improve on.
So what do you hope to gain out of a Jamboree game? What's the real purpose of doing something like this, kind of a scrimmage type? What do you hope to get out of it?
Live reps. You can try to mimic it all you want to in practice, but at the end of the day it's practice. The kids know it's practice. So see somebody different. Go against somebody that hadn't seen that same play 14 times every day. Come out healthy is a big thing there, but get some of these guys some live reps who haven't had live reps. We played in the spring Jamboree, and so defensively we were a little different than what they've been in the past. So we had guys playing different spots, so that they may have been starters last year, but maybe playing something different this year.
I got it.
So you kind of want to see where they're going to fall at, how they're going to compete. When turn the lights on, turn them lights off outside, turn the lights on the stadium and stands, people in the stands yelling and screaming, and how are you going to respond to that?
So it gives them a little bit of a game atmosphere.
It does.
Try to get them in under, I guess maybe getting the butterflies out.
Yeah, getting some of the cobwebs knocked off and, see what we need to work on. I mean, we got an idea, of course, but when it comes down to it, when that quarterback says hut, against somebody different, and he can be hit because we're not going to not hit the quarterback in a real game. So all that stuff helps. It does.
Okay, well, good. So the season's getting ready to get started. Your first time here, so
yep.
I want to kind of take an opportunity to let people really know who you are. So can you tell us a little bit about where you come from and who's mama and them and all that? Kind of give us an idea.
Oh yeah. So starting year 21, and that sounds crazy to me saying 21 years, but because I can go back to Knox Pater in 2004 when I started. I can name off players that played there and what they're doing now, how many kids they got, and those type of things. So, I've said it 1,000 times in my years. You better be called to do this job. If you're not called to do it, then you won't do it very long because it'll wear you down. So, I feel like I was called to do it. I married a great wife. We've been married 15 years now. I tell all the time, she is the ultimate coach's wife. And for the people who don't know that, go try to be one time and see what it's like to sit in bleachers. You know, it's tough on us, but we don't hear it. You know, so the wives, the ones got to be the single mama and the single parent for hopefully 6 months. You know, hopefully play until December. So she takes it all with grace, and she's a fireball. You know, Mary Lee is she's a great wife for this profession for sure. So, but she and I have been married. We got married. I worked 3 years at Knox Pater. I left there, went to Aberdeen High School 5 years, met her. We dated for a couple of years, got married. Left Aberdeen after 5 years, went to Amory for 1. Then I was able to get my first head job at Hatley, which is my hometown. You know, sometimes you go back home and get a head job. Probably you know, I love it, and that's home for me, but probably one of the top 5 worst programs in the state. You know, so sometimes you got to take one where you can get one at.
Sure.
And we were able to win some ball games there and make the playoffs, the first time in school history, which I'll always hang my hat on. That'll always be my pinnacle of my career. Because alma mater, do something never been done. So left there, went to Neshoba for the last 8 years. Had some great runs there, great teams there, and I really wasn't looking to leave, to be honest with you. I was entrenched. We were part of the community, and but Coach Smith-Art and Miss Chisholm made a phone call, and we came interviewed, and here we are.
And here you are.
Here we are. You know, it's it's a great place. You know, we plan to stay here till I retire. When's that going to be? Who knows?
Right.
You know, I used to have I'm going to retire at 25 years. Probably not. I'm going to retire at 28 years. Probably not. I don't know how you can retire anytime nowadays, but you know, so we're here and we're entrenched in the community. We're going to be Pearl. So.
Well, that's great. So you mentioned your wife.
Yes.
So you met her at Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Is she a teacher?
She is not. She's a physical therapist assistant. I don't think she'd make it very long in the classroom. I don't know. She'd make it very long in a sub form. So.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, because a lot of coaches, you know, their wives are teachers.
They are. That's because it makes that move easier. Most of the time, you can just plug them into wherever they're going to be at. But she's medical field, so she can usually find a job.
Sure.
She's stayed at her old job, so she's driving an hour every day back and forth to Choctaw, Mississippi. But she's comfortable there, and she likes it there. And
hey, if that's what she likes to do, right?
It's been a big change. Let's don't change everything up in one day. So we got 2 great kids. You know, my daughter's 8th grader. She plays volleyball and softball at Pearl. She's going power lift. My son's in the 5th grade, and he's a football field house rat. So that's kind of where he stays at.
Right. Well, that's great. And with you said the wives take it kind of, you know, they do. So kind of describe what you mean by that.
Just sit in the bleachers one day and find out. You know, just put yourself in a wife or even a child's point of view and just hear what's being said up there. And I get it. I mean, people have their own opinions. They all got it figured out. You know, fans don't bother me a whole lot. You know, they just don't bother me because they're all emotional, and they were all 5 stars growing up. So when they play football, they were all great. I know they were.
They all won state titles.
Yeah, they all won state titles, and they've all got a sob story why they didn't make it in the big leagues. And maybe coach was a problem, probably, or maybe get injured, whatever, you know. So, but you know, for them to sit up there and hear the abuse that we get it sometimes, it's you know, they got to be real classy, and sometimes, you know, they may not be real classy sometimes.
Well, they're human. They're human too.
You know, my wife tell you real quick, you can yell at me all you want to. She don't care. She go yell at me.
Yeah.
But you start yelling at them boys down there, and that's kind of like her boys, and she'll get.
She takes that personally.
She'll go all mom on you now. She don't like that. So, but luckily my son sits down. He's a manager now. You know,
okay,
so he's a big time football manager. So, because he would pop back off because he don't know any better. So, you know, and my daughter, she's gonna be ringing out with a friend, so she don't know who won the ball game or not. So it really don't matter to her.
It really doesn't.
But you know, it's a great family affair. It really is. You know, and I tell them all the time, you better have a good family support, or you won't do it very long.
This is true.
If you don't, because you just won't do it very long. You won't. So
it has to be in your blood.
It better be. So I can. So we've been married 15 years. They did probably 2. So she said 17 years worth of it. And
17 out of 21.
Out of 21, yes.
That's
really. I'm almost probably 18. We were dating when I got. Just probably 18 years worth of it, or going to be 18 years. This year will be 18th year. And she's probably missed 2 games.
Wow.
Tops. I don't know if it's been 2, to be honest with you. So I know one of them, she had a wedding she had to be in Kentucky. You know, people schedule weddings during football season. And so I think she missed that one. I maybe the only one she ever missed. She had COVID one time, and she wasn't supposed to come, but I think she maybe in the corner of the bleachers.
She snuck in.
That's over now, so you can't get her now, but I think she was there. So, but you know, it's a calling.
It's tough on the family,
It
especially
is.
this time of year.
And we don't do it near like the old guys did it. The old guys spent way too much time at the field house, you know. And I'm a big family guy, and I tell my guys all the time, you don't miss anything for your kids, especially out of season. Now during the season, sometimes we got to miss something on a Sunday if they're playing baseball. But you know, the first springtime, and we got practice, and your son's playing travel baseball or city league baseball, you better be at the baseball game.
Right.
You know, because you only get a few of those, and they're gone.
Right.
So,
That's true. You know, because I know, just being around it, you know, this is our 16th season to broadcast Pearl football, which is amazing that we've been doing it that long. But I remember when my kids played. You know, it was a Friday night, a Saturday, a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, the coaches were at the field house. You had to drive and swap film.
Swap films.
Remember those days?
Oh yeah, I cut my teeth in those VHS swap days. Then we got
VHS
we got
tapes.
DVDs, and
Right.
now we just click a button, it goes across the world now.
I know, isn't that neat? But
I miss that. You know, I miss the waking up Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock and meeting Coach so and so at the halfway somewhere at the little diner and eating breakfast.
Right.
I think when we met and we knew coaches in. You know, we have relationships with coaches. Now we want to beat you, ain't no doubt about that.
Sure.
But we're going to sit there and drink coffee and eat our breakfast and talk about how bad we were. You know,
even if you won 50 to nothing.
yeah, even we were the
We were
best
so
team in the
bad.
state. But yeah, but I miss some of those relationships.
Right, because I guess when you were starting out as a new coach, you probably drew the short straw.
Oh yes, I was a swap guy. Ain't no doubt about that.
And so you had to get up Saturday morning.
Yep.
Drive somewhere.
Well, when I was in Knox Pater, we just kind of we only had 3 coaches. You know, 1A football. And
Yeah.
Really had 2 football coaches. One of them would be a basketball guy who helped out.
Sure.
You know, he was a great coach, but he wasn't a football coach. He knew it.
Right,
But
right.
so Saturday mornings, if every other weekend, me and the head coach were going somewhere. And a lot of times we just ride together. I went about every weekend. I was single then,
Sure.
so I just wake up with him and we'd ride to wherever and meet and
Sit down at a
sit
diner.
down at a diner and talk to somebody. And I didn't know anybody then, so it was good for me to go and meet and make connections.
So you think the digital world has made it easier, obviously?
Oh, for sure.
But has it hampered some of that?
I think it has. I think it hampered some of the relationships you build with other coaches, and you know, because I can remember an instance one time we were playing the game, and the head coach I was working for did something that I didn't agree with, but he was head coach, so I didn't worry about it. But after the game, I said, "Look, I'm gonna need a job one day. I may need a job from that guy across the field we just did it to." Lo and behold, 2 years later, that guy hires me. And we talked about that during the interview process. And look, but you know,
Yeah, sure. But you had a
we
relationship.
did, and we'd met,
Right.
and we were kind of cross county rivals, so we knew each other just from Walmart and places like that, and so. But you know, you gotta.
So the digital world probably has hampered a little
It's
bit.
made that part a little tougher, but it's also made the film swapping and the getting a film and the breaking down of film.
I know, right?
I can send that film off to. Well, we get a film tonight. Okay, so we're gonna play Madison Saturday or Friday. We get home Friday. We take our film, upload it, shoot it to whatever. Saturday morning, it's back there broke down.
And the show was central.
Yeah, it's broke down, and I mean, we can tell you everything you did that for. Which I'm still a little different. I'm older. I'm gonna still bring that little folder out. I'm gonna draw my plays on it. And, I mean,
Are you old school?
because that's kind of how that's how I see it. You know, the new guys love that data. But they put that data in. I'm over going, but guys, but right here they did something different.
Yeah,
The data picked that up.
right,
you know, so,
right,
but
right.
you know, and we have a great staff from that. You know, 13 coaches on one staff, and I'm kind of in the middle of the pack as far as the age group of them. We got some older guys on staff. We got some really, really young guys on staff. So we have the best of both worlds. And I told the young guys this, you know, watch some of these old guys operate. Watch how they handle their day-to-day. Watch how they handle kids. And, you know, it's just been, hey, old guys, watch how they can get that data put in. Watch how they can spit out stuff to us and be like, wow, where'd that come from?
How they can work one of these.
Yes, there's no doubt.
And make the.
I'll shoot a text, hey, look, get on Google Drive, please. I'm gonna mess it all up. Figure out what I did wrong, put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
Got you, coach. I did it, but I don't know where I put it at.
I don't know what I did with it.
Try to find it if you don't mind.
I did it, but I don't know what I did with it.
That's my problem. So, but it's, you know, it's a great mesh of a great staff. And again, go back to those wives. You know, those wives got to mesh up too a little bit. You know, they don't have to be best friends, but they have a little group text. They text all the time on, hey, what we're gonna do here, and I always try to take care of the boys first, then the coaches.
Yep.
But that's that mama in them. So, but it's a great profession. It's a great calling if you do it right.
Yeah, I would say it's very admirable. I mean, growing up myself, just speaking on my own, the people I remember from school, there's a couple of teachers that I had, but it was my coaches.
Oh yeah, if you played sports.
Yeah,
even my girls that I coached at Aberdeen Track, well, they'll still, I see them on Facebook and they'll reach out or congrats coach on the new job, or hey, I saw this coach, or just
right.
They're all one of them's a big time lawyer now, and I knew she was going to be one in freshman year because she could argue that wall down. she would convince me I was wrong every time. I was like, how do you do this? But she could do it, and she's good and sweet girl, and now she's married, 2 kids, and a lawyer. Here she is.
No kidding.
So.
Well, you definitely remember the coaches, and of course, I've got a kid who is a coach. So it definitely is a calling.
It is. Preachers and coaches are callings. If not, you won't do it very long.
You won't do it very long.
And real similar jobs.
Right.
So,
he was not too far from you. One of his first coaching jobs was in Philadelphia.
Oh, Philadelphia, good place.
Over a little 2A school. But like you said, he coached baseball, girls softball, bass pitch.
Whatever popped up, he had to do.
Exactly.
Yes,
So you've been there.
The small school ball, I tell them all the time, you want to see some real coaches, go coach a 1A, 2A football team.
Right.
And then you coach because you go coach middle school too, and then you go coach something else.
Yeah, right.
And then you're going to be in charge of running the clock at the basketball game.
And then he taught like 4 subjects.
You do?
From 7th grade to 12th grade.
no off period.
No off period.
Your off period's football. Or whatever sport at the time. So, you had no idea what,
right.
Every day I thought it was the greatest job in the world.
So growing up in Hatley, tell us how your experiences there, just growing up. I mean, you played football,
great time.
obviously.
Yeah, it's a great little hometown, little small area, like I said, football is probably, really truly, if you look it up, I would say it's probably top 5 worst programs historically in the state.
Okay.
Now, my 4 years there, we were great. I was a great player, but we actually had a pretty good team.
You won state that year,
right? Would have been for the coach, would have been better. But we had really good teams for Hatley terms, but that's back when you only carried 2 teams in the playoffs. Sure. And I think we finished like 3rd 3 years.
You're right.
I just never could get over the hump there, but had some great friends, great memories. I mean, you grow up, you know where to fish at, you know where to hunt at, you knew what loop you could ride around without getting caught by so and so. But that's one of the places if you pulled over on the side of the road or picked somebody off the side of the road, somebody's calling your mama, let them know, hey, your son's on the side of the road over here. I mean, it's one of those. It didn't matter what time it was.
Right.
I was so ready to get out of there, but look back and it's such a great place. A great place where the family at.
Do you get back often?
Not near as much as I should. We try, but our kids play so much ball, travel ball, and of course that's slowing down for us. I'm the biggest negative person in the world when it comes to travel ball.
Okay.
I think it's a necessary evil, but it's I think we ruin it for a lot of kids. We play, and my daughter and I feel sorry for her. We played so much softball. It was now my son plays it, but they can play in Pearl every weekend. They can play in Madison. They can play at Winona. We can play it every weekend in this area. And with softball in Mississippi, fast pitch. If you're on a really good team, and she was on a good team, to play in a really good tournament, you better be on the coast of Mississippi, catching the Panhandle, Louisiana, Georgia. Oh, we played tons in Louisiana. Played in Arkansas, Birmingham, Nashville. Yes, you name it. That's why we're in debt. That's why we have a credit card, because it's just.
There's so much
it's rolling. So, but we had a great time. Met so many people. I mean, we have friendships now from that. But that has slowed down a lot for her. She's playing ball now, so we can have a life on the weekends. But my parents will be here. My parents will be at about every home game. My in-laws will be at about every home game. My mother-in-law, my dad-in-law, he cares less about sports. He'll come hang at the house, but he don't come to many ball games. My parents, they won't miss very many home games still this day.
No kidding.
They'll be here and there. I'm 40.
They'll drive.
44. Yeah, but for the sit now, I got a hotel room. I said, Daddy, I've got a house, bedrooms. My kids don't sleep in a bed anyway, so you can get in his bed. But they don't miss many. They don't. I'm very fortunate to have my parents still living and still able to get around and go. So
that's fantastic. All right, so let's talk a little Pearl football.
Pearl football.
Let's talk a little football. So you got in, of course, spring training and all that. Had an unfortunate accident, I think, just fluke issue with our starting quarterback.
And that's a tough one. It really was. You don't lose any of them, but you don't lose quarterback.
No, you're talking about a kid who started since a ninth grader.
Ninth grader.
That has some serious game experience.
Took his lumps as a freshman. Had a really good year last year.
Yeah, and was set to just set the woods on fire.
I think one of our young coaches told me the other day. I think we threw the ball 77% of the time in the spring game, which was not going to be our fall plan. but we was going to throw everything we could at him and see what we could do. And
I
I don't know when he tore it. He thought he tore it a little bit maybe during the spring game or hurt it during the spring game. Just at workouts one day, jumped up, just not even do anything. Just jumped up and come down and pop.
Dang.
So
Just dang, right
we
there.
just like, really.
Right. Yeah.
But everybody says next man up, but sometimes you got to really live that next man up. And
All right. So who's
so
the
now
next,
we're there.
Who's the next man up?
Dylan Story,
Okay. What's Dylan's?
been the backup for, I guess, the last 2 or 3 years. Senior, sitting back here patiently waiting, and now he's here. You hate it for Jack.
How is his?
Been very impressed. Been
his
very pleased with his
preseason?
progress. Came in. Of course, like any backup, hasn't had all the reps he should have taken. Hasn't had all the fine tuning because he wasn't the guy.
Right.
At every level, the next guy gets less work than the first guy does.
Sure.
I guess the only thing we can say fortunate about the injury was it happened in June, not today.
Not today. Right.
So we've had a full month and a month and a half, 2 months now to prepare him, and those say he grabbed the bull by the horns and he's rolled with it. We've been well pleased with him, really have. Is he Jack? No, he's different than Jack. They're
Sure.
not the same person.
Right.
But he can do some things that Jack couldn't do.
Sure.
So that's we got to play to his strengths, of course. As coaches, that's when you got to come in and say, all right, well, we got to do this now. We want to do this, but this fits Dylan's skill set better, so we got to do this.
Right. So it's a little bit of change of a game.
It is.
That
It
you
is.
were able to make over the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, very
Instead of-
fortunate. Again, if it's going to happen, very fortunate when it happened. And now we could, and like I said, I think we got 2 weeks of 7-on-7 with him. Went to a 7-on-7 camp, and just competed. So, and he's been really good all spring, all preseason going so far. He's trying to lead out there every day and stays extra, throws the receivers. We'll see. We'll see how we shake
How
out.
did he do 7-on-7? Because that's just all basically throwing.
That's just throwing.
That's just throwing.
And everybody's like, that's just but they're dropping 7 out there. They ain't got to worry about a run game. So those outside linebackers are not creeping in whatsoever. They are bailing. So I thought we had good and bad, like everybody else does. Looks good and bad. So we tell them all the time, if you can complete passes in this,
Oh yeah, if you can.
Friday nights won't be as near as bad. Those windows will be a lot bigger on Friday nights.
They'll be a lot bigger on Friday night because they're only dropping usually 3 or 4.
Exactly. So
it's not.
we're trying our best to get at him defensively, put a lot of pressure on him, show him a lot of different looks, come after him. We don't hit him, but try to come after him, get him pressured a little bit. And, some days we get to him, some days we don't. So
Well, he can't do anything without an offensive line.
Exactly.
What does that look like?
Getting better every day. That's what we are deep at that spot.
Okay.
We're very inexperienced at that spot, but we got 8 to 9 guys that we are trying to figure out who the 5 is going to be. Great problem to have.
Yeah, it is a great problem.
We got a couple guys that played some last year that they're kind of anchoring their spots in. We've had to move a few of them around to get our best 5 out there. Coach Anderson does a really good job of. He doesn't worry about center or guard and tackle. He worries about the best 5 linemen. Then we'll put them in the spot they can play at, type deal. We're not gargantuans, but we're not small guys. We'll probably average about 265 across the front on average, with some big guys mixed in there that's going to hopefully be able to move you around.
How many seniors do we have on that group?
The projected, what I think is going to be a starting O lineman, probably 2, maybe 3. But now one of them's still up there.
Right.
2 sophomores, a junior. Actually 3 sophomores, a junior. So we got a mixture of who's going to be. I walked in. We had to meet the Pirates Friday, and I was helping the food truck guys get set up. And I walked in, and Coach Anderson and Coach Breland watching film, and I heard him fire 2 and put 2 new ones in there. So we'll see. And he loves to motivate. He loves, and the best way to motivate is say, hey, you're gonna be over on the sidelines with me. He's gonna play.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
That starting 5 may change tomorrow after you watch film. That's the great thing about having 8 or 9 guys that can play. You can always move around. You can find the one that want to play.
This is true, but it definitely starts. The offense starts with
front.
the offensive line.
You win up front on both sides.
You win up front.
There's no doubt.
On the line. That's where you win games.
I can be really fast, but we don't block. Not a whole lot I can do about it.
No, not a whole lot you can do about it. If you have the best quarterback in the world, but if he doesn't have time to throw or time to read the defense, then
it's really tough to get the ball off.
You need at least 3-4 seconds.
Please.
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 All right, so defensive side of the ball, how are we looking?
That's probably our most experienced group. I think we have a chance there to be really good. I really do. I mean, and we got some depth there at spots. In some spots, we got 2 players.
Yeah, right.
As far as that group,
Just probably interchanging.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure out how to make those all happen. But I think we have a chance to be really good at that spot. You know, those guys have really embraced the new system, and they were really good last year. I mean, again, I inherited a really good football team. It's not like I walked into my last 2 head jobs where we had to rebuild the whole program.
Sure.
I mean, this team won 8 games last year.
Right.
You know, second round playoffs. It's not like I'm coming in here to a terrible program. So traditionally, Pearl's Pearl.
Right.
So, but you know, I think we'll be really good there if we can stay healthy up front. And we have a couple big guys. We have a couple guys that just get after it, high motor guys. You know, I tell them all the time, you don't have to be big and fast, but a great motor gets you a lot of places.
Well, you defensive ends.
Yeah, so they're 2 long, pretty kids.
They're
really outside line. Well, we're a 3-4 system this year, so they're going to be considered outside linebackers.
You're outside linebackers.
But you look out there, you see 6'2.5", 6'3", you're like, I don't like either side of that. I don't like this situation.
And they're experienced.
They're experienced, and they get after it.
Right.
Really get after it. They're great leaders, you know. So I think our back end's gonna be really good this year. People, I think maybe one of our weaker points last year, watching film, it was.
You're right.
But those guys have really embraced. We're not gonna be the weak link this year, and they've embraced that mindset. And like I said, we make them out Friday night and get torched, but I don't think we will, because they look really good all spring. Look really good in 7-on-7s. I thought we've had some really good work. To me, 7-on-7 is really good for defense. Offensively,
sure.
If you throw the ball, whatever. But
if you can make,
if you do what you do defensively, and if you go out there
Yeah.
and play a 7-on-7 defense and whatever, but
Right.
we're gonna work on what we work on Friday nights, and so they got a lot of reps of what not to do.
Sure.
So we'd film 7-on-7s, we come back in and watch it, you know, and say, look, a lot of times visual aid is a lot better than that me yelling and talking about it. Because in their mind, they're right already. But that film won't lie for them.
No, it doesn't.
We try, but it won't lie for you. So, but I think we have a good spot there. We've got 2 inside linebackers who are very inexperienced, but they're seniors. They played a lot of football sparingly, and been real pleased with those guys.
Fantastic.
They get after it. So
defense
is all about effort. If you have great effort, it don't matter if you're a 4-3, 4-4. It don't matter what you put out there. Great effort will get you a ball game. So keep you in the game. So
it will indeed. So you come from a 7A program.
6A.
I mean, well, that's right. Neshoba was 6A.
Yeah.
You come in from a 6A program, but it's still a large 6A.
Oh yeah, I mean
I mean that's Pearl's a small 7.
You know, I would probably say Pearl and the show were probably separated by about 250 students, maybe 300. I don't know in that ballpark.
It's a class.
Yes.
You know, it's a small class of
Yes.
difference, really. There's really not a whole lot of difference in size. You know, so we're a small 7A. But how many are you dressing this year so far?
I think we looked the other day at 97.
I mean, that's impressive.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of
That's
kids.
a lot. Trying to figure out how to get them all dressed when we don't have.
But that's a good problem to
good
have.
problem to have. That's what Mr. Chisholm says. The coach figured out. He said, "Get what you got to get."
Yeah.
Problem is you can't order Nike uniforms right now.
I think we were talking about that the other day.
So we had to do some work on that. But about first week we'll have enough uniforms.
Sure.
It won't.
It's
but,
just what it is.
But we'll have them by week 2 hopefully.
Two or three. But I know that just the difference in between a 6A and a 7A school, there's only, 28 schools in 7A?
24.
24 schools
24.
in 7A.
24.
And
24.
We're what, one like...
I think we're 24.
We're like 24th or
I think we are.
23rd, something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
I mean, we're just right on the line. And so you're competing with schools that they'll dress 118, 120.
Yeah.
You know, so you're competing with schools that have a lot of kids.
They do.
Sometimes
But
double our size.
But sometimes you can have too many kids.
True.
Sometimes you can have too many out there. And it's hard to get them all reps. Or your ones aren't getting enough reps because you're trying to get everybody reps. I mean, football is the greatest game there is. Played all 3 of them in high school. Loved all 3 of them. Thought I was going to be a baseball coach my whole life. I'm going to play baseball, coach baseball. But sometimes you got too many reps. I mean, sometimes those guys are still at reps that your 1s and 2s really need. So I think we do a really good job of getting everybody reps, but we make sure that the ones that we're going to win or lose with on Friday nights are going to get the bulk of them. So.
Right, and you have the JV team.
We do.
Obviously.
We have 9th grade and the JV. We've done a really good job this year of not us particularly, but the area of making sure we're going to have a 7th grade and a JV schedule.
Right.
And that everybody's going to play those JV schedules because those guys need reps.
They do.
I mean, they need live reps. The 9th grade, we've always had the little 6 here. So the 8th and 9th grades get a really good game. And that may be the best thing in the state of Mississippi. coming from somewhere we didn't have that, and we tried to get something like that going. Those 8th and 9th grade real true games are you can't even put on paper what they're worth.
Yeah, because that little 6 is just this group
huge.
right around through here.
Yes,
and
it's a huge deal. But
for junior
7th
high.
grade been lacking in the past, when I was told, and JV been lacking. So, but we've got legit 7th grade. I think they got 5 games this year in 7th grade. JV same schedule. I think JV's got 6 games this year. I mean, if you got this many people on the team, then you got enough people for JV games every Monday night.
Every month, right?
I don't know why you would cancel.
No.
Unless you just don't want to play it, and
Sure.
I'm not built that way. But we're going to play.
Those kids.
Those guys gonna get their reps in. Those kids, for nothing more else, those kids are on the team. They fundraise, and their parents want to see them play. So we finna get them out there.
Right. I think it's great. So the culture. What kind of culture do you think you're building there on the team? Because obviously you're a new coach.
Yes, and you want to bring your own stamp in a little bit.
What kind of culture are you building? What
Again, kind of like I said,
team around?
I didn't inherit a bad culture. I didn't inherit a bad team. But you always want to put your stamp on it. I've always been a big physical guy. Grew up as a DC my whole life. I got my first head job, and nobody ever called offense or defense. So I felt like I had to do both of them, which was a huge mistake. But I also knew the first 3 games at Hatley, we couldn't win. It didn't matter if we played our best, they played their worst, they were better. They were that much better. So I never forget going into Sunday meetings, because we do meet on Sundays. A lot of people don't know that we meet on Sundays to watch film, to have a game plan that we may not execute on Friday, but we do meet and have a plan. I walked in on that Sunday and had a young coach, first-year coach, second-year coach. I said, go fix defense. He said, well, I said, go fix it. Go back to your room back here, you and so-and-so go watch film, and y'all get the defense fixed. I thought we could win that week. I didn't want to burn him on the first 3 weeks knowing we couldn't win. And I can handle getting beat. So
Sure.
So I ran the offense there. Then we moved to Neshoba, same process. Nobody ever called offense defense. I had a guy on staff who's actually the head coach now at Neshoba. I named him my DC maybe a month into it. I knew he was the guy. So I did offense there. But I've always been defense. If you watch any of my offenses ran like defense. We were real physical. We was going to try to bend your face mask back. We was going to be tough. We weren't always going to be more athletic than you or more skilled than you or even faster than you most time, ever faster than you, but we could be tougher than you. And if we can get 3 yards, we're going to be going for them 4th and 1. That's our mentality. So we tried our best to be extremely, and that starts in the weight room.
Right.
And you got to talk it and talk it and talk it. Eventually they'll believe it. So I got to Pearl. These kids are already pretty tough. So I put my little stamp on the weight room, and it's not anything earth-shattering, but it's just what I know works. And it's physically and mentally demanding sometimes. I'm all about getting that mental aspect of it because I think just as a whole, we're a mentally weak society.
We are.
So I want my guys to get out in the real world and be, if they play football, great. I tell them all the time, guys, I don't care about college football or pro football because the good Lord's got to give you talents to get that far anyway.
Right.
But I care about what you're going to be, and the kids will tell you. The kids from Hatley will tell you. The kids from Neshoba will tell you. My biggest thing is better man, better husband, better father. And if we can do those 3 things in that order, we're going to be successful in life. And you'll look back on life, and you'll pull some of these comments that the football staff made to you, or some of those tough days. How are we going to react one day when we go to work? I don't want to be at work today, but I got a wife and a kid at home. We preach that aspect every day because if you quit now, if you're going to be mentally weak now, you'll be mentally weak then, you'll quit.
Well, we started this conversation off talking about that.
Yes.
I think it's very fitting that we're now coming to the
Back
end
into
of this conversation. But that is true. Coaches are who I remember.
Yes.
Growing up.
Who you
because
call back on.
They teach you to be, men and women, how to behave, how to
Yes.
work hard. It's probably one of the most important callings I think that there is.
Oh, Pearl didn't hire me to win football games.
Right.
If they did, they messed up.
It's about the W's at some point,
Yes.
sure, but it's not really.
Because if I take care of that first part, we're going to win football games. That'll take care of itself.
Sure.
It will. I feel 100% believing in that. But if I fail as a man to teach even the female, because I'm going to coach girls this year for powerlifting.
Good luck with that.
I love it. I love coaching girls. I'm a girl guy.
Yeah, you're right. You have a daughter.
I'd have 4 girls. My wife would let me. And I like little kids. I do. But girls are my release. I coach them differently.
Yep.
I have more fun. I do.
Sure.
Because they're fun.
Right.
If they like you, they're fun. If they don't like you, they're not very fun because they'll make your job really tough. But if we take care of those things, and I look out in 10 years, I see you being a good parent, a good husband, a good mother, and I see your kids. I like that. I feel like I won then. I feel like I succeeded in this profession because that's my goal, is to be that.
That's a wonderful goal to have.
Maybe we can keep doing it.
Maybe so. So last, the staff. How many you got on staff this year? Coaching staff, and can you tell me who's the OC, who's the DC, and what's that look like?
We got 13 on staff, which was a great staff. We were lacking one coach, and we'll hire him next year. Sure will. I was able when I walked in. I inherited a great staff. I tell everybody, this is not college. You don't walk in and fire everybody, because these guys are men. They got families at home, and they can't afford to uproot and move. It's not college. I got a couple of I call them true pearl guys. And you need some true pearl guys. You need some guys that, hey, I need this. Who do I call for this? What's old Joe down the street? You need your pearl guys.
Sure. And
I've got a couple of those. So I got my OC I brought in from the Neshoba, Brian Anderson. He's kind of been around the block. And he's got, I think, 30 plus years in. Been head coach at a couple of different spots. Head coach at East Central Community College. We've had coached at Brandon. Don't fire me for that one. Coached at Warren Central, coached at Neshoba Me, head coach at Philadelphia, Meridian.
Sure.
I mean, he's been all over.
Yeah, right.
Great guy, works his tail off. Still has a passion for the game. Even after, I'm pretty sure it's 31 years. So he still has a passion for the game. And
sure.
He's we text all the time about, look at this, what about this one, and hired him and brought his son with me. Brady Anderson was with me at Neshoba for 1 year. He helped us. I coached our younger brother at Neshoba. I coached him. He's actually the quarterback now at Mississippi College. And Brady helped us as a kind of volunteer. Then he got certified and went to Louisville, won the state championship. Who would have thought that? Then he came back, hired him back to us last year. He's a good coach now. He's going to be a great coach. He's one of the. It sounds bad, but a lot of these young guys don't understand the load it takes, the workload. That they want to be head coaches tomorrow. They want to be OCs tomorrow.
Right.
It don't work that way.
Right.
It does not work that way. The video game is not really how it all works out. And of course, him being a coach's kid growing up, he understood that. So he's a phenomenal coach, really organized. And I hired a DC to run the defense for me, and then he ended up taking the head job at Quitman High School. Can't fault that deal.
No.
Everybody wants to be a head coach. Everybody wants to be head coach before they are head coach.
Quitman's a good program.
And then they figure out, maybe I don't like this chair no more.
It gets warm, doesn't it?
It does. It does get warm. So then after he left, I was so late in the spring, I was like, I'm going to do it myself. And I got a great defensive staff that if I get sick today, I have to go home, I don't worry about anything.
Sure.
Because I have a great veteran defensive staff. Matter of fact, I may be the third youngest on the defensive staff.
No kidding.
So I got Ray Durr does inside linebackers. Of course, Ray Durr is a pearl guy. He's coached a couple different times. But he always finds his way back here. Now he's locked into pearl. So great community guy, great guy. I can call on when I need something. But he does inside linebackers and ninth grade football for us and does a really good job. I don't worry about ninth grade football. I don't ask him what happened today. Don't have to.
Don't need to.
I don't ask him before practicing today. I don't ask him what the schedule is. He's got a schedule. So
Right.
But again, that goes back to that veteran coach.
Sure.
And I got Coach Goodwin, Jason Goodwin was head coach at Puckett for probably 8 or 9 years. He and I actually worked in the All-Star game together years ago.
No kidding.
So he came over last year to staff, and he's a great coach. Great. Again, you get old guys on staff. I don't have to say we need to get the grass cut today. We need to take garbage out today because it gets done. Those are where the benefits of getting an older staff. Michael Gregory does D-line for us. Coach Goodwin does outside linebackers for us. Gregory does D-line for us. He's been here. He's one of those guys that can't moved here. Then he probably won't ever move again.
Probably not.
He said, I came here for some experience and yada yada yada. He said, but I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
Yeah, he married a Pearl girl.
Married a Pearl girl, and he's kind of locked in.
He's kind of here.
He loves it. And I'm not saying they don't have dreams, aspirations of being a head coach somewhere, but
right.
You better. And these young guys, well, they'll learn this. It's always better somewhere else. They'll learn that. So that's great. I got Chris DeLoach moved in, I think, last year, and of course Dylan Hayes. Hayes the Pearl guy. I don't. He may leave tomorrow, but I don't think he'll ever leave Pearl.
Right.
I think he's locked in, loves it. He and Coach DeLoach both do my secondary for me, and that was the young guys on staff, and I kind of help out in the secondary. And And those two guys have grabbed that position, and I don't say anything anymore. I just let them, hey, coach, you have this and this. What drill you want to run today? We need to work on these aspects today. They'll show up from middle school. They'll fly in there to high school, and they'll come in. Their practice schedule's already filled out, printed off. They hit it running, and they get after it. So, you kind of, sometimes I want to coach, but I don't want to I don't want to overcoach. I want to let these guys work and learn their craft. And if they have questions, we'll talk about it. And I've learned stuff from them. In 21 years, if you quit learning, you'll be fired pretty quick.
Right.
Then offense, like I said, I got Coach Anderson's going to be the OC for me. And that Brady's going to coach quarterbacks. I got Connor Breland, coach's son, going to do O-line for us. So young guys. I got Shaw, does our middle school program. He's the head coach there, and does the receivers for us. And then Dennis, Coach Dennis is a young guy full of spirit. Played at Southern Miss, gets after it. He really does.
Young guy.
But the whole staff. You got Coach Anderson, who's probably
right.
He is 50. I'm almost certain he's 50, and I think the next oldest on staff, I think he's 27. So it's Coach Anderson and the young guys over there. So, and he's enjoying that part of it because he gets to bring them along in the system and teach them and kind of mentor them a little bit.
Right.
He's loved it. I think that's kind of rejuvenated his drive to. He's the head coach of the offense, but he's got a full staff bigger than a lot of staffs.
People say is it one of the largest staffs he's ever had?
Oh
probably?
Yeah, yes it is. Yeah. So, he gets that staff over and they get after it. I mean, then we got Coach Morgino, who's invaluable. Everybody's like, well, he works kickers. I know nothing about kickers, and he does a really good job over there. I don't ask what we're doing. I look over at him. He's got a little sheet. He's marking down. He come back and coach. They kicked this many times and made this many from this hash. So his best hash is over here. And I was like, so now I don't have to worry about what's his best hash. What I need to get the ball set for the game-winning field goal.
All you have to do is ask Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, where we at? Coach, need to get about 35 right hash, and he should be good.
That's what we're going to do.
Coach Anderson, get 35 right hash. What we got to do, get outside. And so, done.
Right.
And he also does our digital media, which for an old guy like me, hey, make this happen.
Yeah.
Got you, Coach. 10 minutes. I was like, how you do that? How you put that background on there? But I don't care. Thank you. Send. So we post it, and there it is. So anytime you see something on our Facebook page that looks really cool, I didn't do that. That's Coach Morgino.
Are you having a good time?
I love it. I love football.
I know, right? But I mean, it just sounds like to hear you talk about it.
Are you having fun? I wasn't looking to leave Neshoba. Was not.
Right.
Was not. I loved it there. My kids up there was home for us, and my home was over. But my kids grew up in Neshoba in Philadelphia, Mississippi. So, but 8 years in one place, you really kind of get stale, And so this is giving me a little chance to get back and get back. I feel calling defense again. I get to be part of the ball game again. Mm-hmm. I'm not just a general manager no more. I get to actually go out there and coach and yell a little bit.
You got to pay attention.
I got to watch the game.
You got to watch the game.
I got to figure out how I'm going to stop that. Not just, of course, so that's going to make me be a little more prepared on Friday nights on the head coaching side of it.
Right.
Okay, we need to go for 2. But again, I can send my defensive staff over to the tent. Hey, we need to fix this.
Yeah.
I got to watch this real quick, make sure we get, So it's going to be a fun year. Right. I think we got a chance to be really good. May go 0-10. I said that, but we got a chance to be really good if coaches don't mess it up. We got a chance to be really good. And
well, the kids have to execute too.
No, they better play football. So,
right.
It's not like
we
got
have the best game plan in the world, but the kids don't execute.
And I don't see an easy win on the schedule nowhere. That's the problem.
Right.
I tell them all the time, guys, but we didn't schedule one to. I guess I could go. That's why I told them last year at the Neshoba. Last year at the Neshoba, I loaded up, and we started 0-4. But we got division play, and we got second place division.
I remember traveling to Neshoba. Love going there.
It's a great place.
It was a great place.
Got playing week 1 this year, and that's going to be bittersweet. I'm ready for it to be over with. I really am.
Sure.
We actually.
But you're going to know a lot of those kids.
I'm going to know every one of them probably. So.
Right, and they're going to know you.
We went to Philadelphia yesterday. My son still plays travel ball on a little travel team out there. He's going to play there for the fall this year. So went there yesterday. Went to our old church hadn't been there in a while, and seen some of the old people, and it's good to go back and see people at home. But that's what I told somebody. I said, I wore my gold shirt, baby. I said, we're Pearl. That's what we are. But
this has a P on it.
I love y'all, but we're Pearl, and we're going to try to beat y'all on Friday night. And after the game's over with, I'll call and love all of them. That's still my guys over there.
Right.
Hope they win every game. Hope hope we both see each other in Hattiesburg this year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
We'd
So,
love to see you at the Rock.
at the Rock.
Right,
With
right.
with y'all with 1 defeat and us with none.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
great.
That'd be
But,
ideal, wouldn't it?
But it's a
Yeah,
good place. And we're ready to be here more because we still go home on the weekend. Still go back to like we went and saw my parents, went and saw her parents. Vacations.
Yeah.
You know, we like to go on the river. You know, so but we're here at Pearl now every weekend, so we're about to be locked in and loaded, and we're gonna try to move in the house. We are. We're gonna try to get everything moved in one day, and we're still in the garage.
Still living out of boxes.
I bought. We went Saturday. My mother-in-law came down and went to 14 furniture stores. It's like I looked at the same stuff, every one of them, and my wife's a little indecisive on things, and I'm hey, just buy that. That looks good.
Yeah.
And she's not.
No.
Finally got to a place. I said, look, we're buying something here today. You better figure out what's going to be. or I'm going to come back tomorrow and picking it out myself. It's going to be delivered. So you better. So we bought a living room suit and bought our kids' bedroom furniture. We had their beds already. So
yeah, right.
it's going to be delivered Wednesday. And so
you might actually move in the house.
need a rug. I need a big rug somewhere. I just don't want to pay $1,000 for one, but we need a big rug for the living room. But
yeah.
you know, we get those things in. We may actually look like homesteaders there. I don't know. Still got to go to the garage out once a week to figure out where something is. But
that's actually kind of funny.
It is.
I mean,
that's what. But once we get all the dressers in, and I had to renovate their closets, make them bigger so we can get all their clothes in there because we don't have enough clothes. I think we get the garage cleaned out and get most of its clothes and get all the hung up. Then we can look like we may be gonna stay here for a while.
Right, right.
But we're excited about it, you know. But we're goers. We don't stay at home. That's why I told my wife we should have bought us a little acre and put one of these little farmhouses, a single wide trailer. But we don't live there. I mean, we are not. You're not gonna find us home on the weekends.
Sure.
We say we are.
Right.
That's our goal, but
Yeah.
we're not.
Not right now.
We're not. Football starts next week anyway, so we got college football. I got probably 10 kids that got playing college football. I need to go see.
Right.
You know, I want to go
hang out
see.
with. Sure.
You know, they need to see Coach hanging out. You know? Matter of fact, one of them put on Facebook yesterday his apparel shop. My son found it, so now I got to buy some Louisiana Monroe T-shirts for Kelby.
Who's he playing for?
Kelby Holmes plays there, one of my linebackers in the show. But then,
Okay.
well, I got the kid at Auburn. Everybody knows about the kid at Auburn. He's number one running back in the SEC right now, in my opinion. Should be number one in the country, but maybe a little homer there. I got one at UAB. I got one at Valley. I'm sorry, I got one at Alcorn. Got one at Jackson State. Got one at MC. Yeah. So just trying to, because you want to go watch them all play.
Sure.
You know, can we? I don't know. And it's not counting JUCO kids, but I still got JUCO kids running everywhere. But they need to see Coach. I want to see them because, you know, to be honest with you, I never get to watch them play on Friday nights. Watch them play. I watch the game.
Yeah.
But
Right,
it's
right.
fun to go up there, be a fan and a homer. The coaches are not doing something right. That's fun.
Well, you know, you hit on something right there because you're talking about watching your kids play, and I know this from broadcasting. You're watching the game, but you're really not watching the game.
No, you're not.
You know,
You're
because
trying
people
to.
ask me all the time, well, what happened in the game? I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you.
We won or we lost.
We won or we lost. But you're doing the same thing because you're watching the game.
Yes.
You're not watching an individual. Your assistant coaches are.
Yeah, they're watching their positions.
They're watching their positions, which.
So they have no idea what
but
really
it's different
yeah.
for you.
You got to watch the.
But they're not watching the game either.
No, they're watching what linebackers do, or what the line does.
So it's kind of unfair when we stick a mic in your face. And go, how do you think the game went? Well, we won.
Great effort. I'm the king of coach answers. I can promise you.
Yeah, right. We're kind of pulling the veil back a little bit, but that's kind of true
It
because
is.
you know, like you talk about going and seeing some of these kids that you've coached over the years. You know, playing junior college ball. You're actually watching.
I'm watching them. Because I'm not watching the team play at all.
Sure.
I don't care about East Central football.
Right.
Not like Coach Webster, but
Sure.
I'm watching Bo Holly play.
Mm-hmm.
What's Bo doing?
Because it's an opportunity. For
I don't care
you.
about Hugh Freeze at all. But I'm gonna go watch Jarquez play.
Right.
You know, if he don't get the ball to Jarquez enough, I'm gonna be Hugh Freeze get the ball.
We're calling you on the phone.
Hey now. But it's fun. It's fun having kids go off and
Yeah.
and have them call you back and say, hey, Coach, you ain't near as bad. I said, no, we tried to kill you in high school. We told you that.
Right.
We told you that if you can survive this, then you'll be able to play college ball.
Yeah.
You know, because nothing to me, there's nothing more humiliating as a coach for a kid to go to a college and quit because it's too tough. That means we wasn't tough enough in high school. We didn't prepare them for that
Right.
that part of life.
Right.
And we've had kids go quit. We had. And,
It happens.
But I knew in the back of my mind that may happen. And I would tell the coach, hey, this may happen.
Right, because you know the
Yeah,
kids.
if I tell you what's going to happen, then I'm sold. And if it don't go that way, then I was wrong. But I'm not wrong much. If you're around a kid 4 years, you know what they're going to be able to do and who they are as a person
Sure.
or as a player. But you got to be.
That happens in life with
It does.
with
It
everything.
does. But we have. I mean,
And you can.
I was at Hatley. As the year went to the playoffs, I had a great year and I had a good team coming back. We did get bumped 3A. I'm thinking, it's going to be okay. I'm going to have a young quarterback, be the old coach's kid. Actually, was he's my superintendent's kid. I said, he's going to be great because he's a student of the game. He knows everything. Walked in after baseball. The coach ain't going to play football next year. I've been forward very few times in my life, but really. Called his dad. He said, Coach, he said, no, we're not making him play. I mean, he got us too. I said, you're going to regret this. I said, because we got a chance this should be really good, or for Hatley terms. I said, we got a chance to go back to the playoffs again, 3A, and prove that it wasn't a fluke. I left, came to show him the next year. He played football 2 years after that. He called me one day. I saw him at a wedding. His sister got married. He said, Coach, I never should have quit. I said, I told you that. I said, I know you did.
Right. But he learned.
He learned.
Right.
And now he's getting married and got a full-time job working. He's a big-time hunter fisherman. He's selling, I think selling chemical and seeds, and that's what he does.
Hey, that's what he does.
He's going to do great at that. And, I said, those are still my kids. We still reach out to them.
But those kids moving on to other schools like junior college and even the SEC, those kids are getting an education.
They're getting it
That's
free.
Right.
They come out, as I tell myself together, there's great football outside the SEC. Great
There is.
football.
They're getting an
I said,
education.
watch the draft. First of all, you'll see a bunch of people drafted, okay? I said, but past that, but I don't care if you go to Wyoming State. When you get there and you leave there, you're free educated. So you come out not in debt.
Right.
Like 95% of us did.
You got a degree.
We come out in debt.
Right.
You got a degree.
Yeah.
That means something.
Yeah.
That's going to help you get a job one day. So, and then a lot of times we flipped off that, and some kids aren't made to go to college.
No.
The military comes in our offices 3 times this year, I think, recruiting football players to play at Army and Navy and Air Force.
Good career.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'd go right now because what they were talking about, the money they're talking about, been crazy,
Right.
crazy not to do that. But there's
That's
also
a good solid career.
That's also going to trade school and being
Sure.
a HVAC guy. Need those every day. Welders, need them every day.
All the time.
And that's a dying profession.
It is.
You can almost
We
name your
need-
price.
We need construction.
Yes.
We need everybody from building houses to building skyscrapers and
There's
everything
no
in
doubt.
between.
When I got into it, everybody's like, go to college. But now we're kind of like, hey, go 2 year certification, get that HVAC, get that
Right.
electrical maintenance,
Yeah.
and
Go
go
electrician.
keep
plumber.
my house cold, please.
Right.
Charge
We need
whatever you got
that.
to charge.
That's how this country was built.
You better believe it. Again, that goes back to better man, better husband, better father.
Goes back to coaches.
It does. I think it does. Personally, because I'm here because I had a great dad.
You're right.
But I'm here because of Coach Brian White and Larry Pickle and
Yeah.
Charlie Smith and Michael Farah, God rest his soul. Those guys got me here.
So their success is your
There's
success.
no doubt.
Right. And so I guess you look at it the same way. Those kids that
Oh,
you had
yes.
before, that as they're successful, that's your success.
We had I know we're trying to get out of here, but we had I'm on the MAC. I'm actually the MAC president now.
I
Somehow.
know. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. But so
I don't know. Is that a blessing or a curse?
we'll find out. Johnny ain't called many times yet, but I'm sure he will. But we had the Hall of Fame banquet about a month ago.
Right.
And my wife was out of town, I think, playing softball. My daughter. I think so. My son. If I'm going somewhere, he's gonna go with me to football stuff. He wants to see it, so
Sure.
we go. That's a big event. If you've never been to the Hall of Fame banquet, of course you got to be invited. But it's a really good deal. I've never been to one, but being the vice president at the time, I went over there and my son came with me. We sat down, and of course he's just watching these old coaches talk and tell stories, and he's listening to our table of retired people, and he's so, and he don't miss much. And so I'm watching. I think we had 6. I think is what it was. So we get back to the truck. He's driving down the road, and you can tell you with this turnover. He said, "Daddy, what?" He said, "You gonna do that one day?" I was like, "Well, son, you gotta be nominated for that. You gotta be." He said, "Well, you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Not because of me. I want to be able to do it so I can go recognize people who got me here. People because you get to invite people to come sit at the table, and there'll be 20 people there. So I'm going to invite, I know I got my list already. I'm going to invite former administrators, my former coaches if they're still living. Because I need to thank those guys in front of everybody for helping make me who I am.
Sure.
And my dad played a huge role, no doubt about that. But
No.
but those guys were great. You know, those guys gave me chances to get in this profession and have success, I guess. So, but that's my goal one day.
Well, that's awesome.
So
This has been a fantastic conversation. I think hopefully people will get a little bit more to know.
They should know me
about
now,
you.
yeah.
So when they see you on Friday nights, you'll just feel like you've been here for 10 years.
like I'm a Pearl Pirate.
Like you're a
That's
Pearl
what I
Pirate.
am.
Well, that's what you are now.
That's what I am. So
Definitely, for sure. Well, thanks, Pat.
Thank
I do
you.
appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
And so we're going to step aside just a minute. Had a great conversation here with Pat Schooler, but we're going to step aside just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. That was a fantastic conversation that we just had with Coach Patrick Schooler, the new head football coach at Pearl High School. It was great hearing about the way that he thinks about football and coaching and growing up and life in general, talking about everything from being married, coaches' wives, to being mentors to kids. It's a fantastic conversation. Thank you, Coach Schooler, for being here. Definitely enjoyed having that conversation with you. So what's going on in Pearl? Let's talk about it just a little bit. So this Saturday, Pirate Fest, Pearl Pirate Fest 24. Doors are going to open at 5. Band's hitting the stage at 8. It's going to be Angela Pittman and the Unfinished Business. They were the 2023 Rankin County's Best Entertainer. So tickets $45. Go to piratefest24.simpletix.com. That's piratefest24.simpletix.com, where you can purchase your tickets. Again, that's this Saturday at the Muse Center. Doors open at 5. Also want to talk a little bit about the special election that's going on right now. Kyle Foster won Alderman 6. So he's been sworn in this past Thursday night, so he'll be sitting on the board Tuesday evening for his first board meeting. But the special election is still happening for between David Stovall and Ray Durr running for Alderman at Large. That election is August 27th here at the Pearl Community Center in the Gold Room. Polls will open at 7 a.m. that morning and will close at 7 p.m. Now, if you want to vote absentee, you can do that in the clerk's office all this week and right up until Saturday, where Saturday you can come in and vote 8 to 12 in the clerk's office. So you have time if you need to vote absentee. You can do it during the week as well as this Saturday the 24th from 8 until noon. After that, absentee voting will be closed. Pearl Pirate football starts this week, if you can believe it. It starts in just a couple of days. Friday night will be the Madison Central Jamboree, where Pearl will travel to Madison Central. Kickoff there is 7. Jamborees work a little bit differently than a game. Jamboree is kind of an exhibition game. It's really a scrimmage or a practice, but it does give you the opportunity to see how the team's going to look, kind of what the offense looks like, how the defense is going to look. But it gives the team an opportunity to scrimmage against someone else other than themselves. The first home game is the 30th of August, which is the following Friday. Neshoba Central comes to town. That will be the first official game. On this Friday night's game, you definitely don't want to miss that. Of course, you can always catch all of these football broadcasts live right here on PMB TV, or you can catch it at PMB Sports, where we broadcast all Pearl football games, whether they are home and away. Also, the Coaches Show. Coaches Show starts Monday night the 26th. You don't want to miss that. That's live from Mugshots, where we sit down with Coach Schooler and a couple of kids, as well as an assistant coach. You get to hear from them about the game we just played previously, and of course we do highlight some of the highlights that were in that game, as well as talk about the upcoming matchup that Friday night. But that's Monday nights starting at 6 p.m. at Mugshots right on Riverwind Drive in Pearl. You definitely want to come out, support our kids, support the coaches. It's a great opportunity to talk to them and meet them individually, talk one-on-one, be able to really talk some Pearl football, and just find out kind of what's going on. Just so you know, all Pearl football is broadcast live on PMB Sports. Catch it on our Roku channel, on our Amazon Fire Stick, PMB TV. You can also watch it at cityofpearl.com, our YouTube channel, City of Pearl MS, as well as Facebook at Pearl Municipal Broadcasting, and our Xfinity Channel 20. Also, sign up for City Alerts. City Alerts come out on our texting service, so if something's going on in Pearl, you need to know about it, it will definitely hit on our texting service. So please just take your phone out and text to 91896, and you can stay up to date on Pearl News anytime right there, as well as go into our Facebook page, our X page, and Instagram, all under City of Pearl Government. Had a great time with you today. We're doing This Week in Pearl. Hope you all enjoyed this show. Y'all stay tuned until next time. I'm your host, Frank Hutton. Y'all have a great day.